It's draining when you're urging and wanting something so bad. And most of the things that we force on ourselves, we're not ready for. God can throw us every sign, and we will still boldly go through with it. I will never understand how this situation is constantly repeated. We oftentimes treat our lives like a gambling addiction. We literally gamble with our own lives. It has a lot to do with our own way of feeling and our own way of thinking. Sometimes God doesn't change our situation because He's trying to change our heart. God is after your heart. He's not after you. And to be honest, some of us aren't after ourselves. God knows if He can have your heart, He can have you. God knows that your potential is limitless only if He can reach your heart. The Bible says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. The protection that we seek is never a situation where we rely on worldly things. We rely on God, because our heart can lead us into very, very dark places. And God knows when you really, really want to get out of those places. He knows when you're ready. These things that we think that we're ready for can be artillery to harm ourselves. The gift of life is always promised, but our life's end is never determined. It's cliche, but we take things for granted by mistreatment of others, including our wives, our husbands, and our kids. My question to you is, are you ready for growth or are you ready for failure? God only knows. Stop trying to recycle things God is trying to replace. We want better for our lives, but we're not willing to change the worst things in us. Oftentimes, it's the worst things up in us that predict that we are not ready for what God has for us. People feel like they're empty inside, but in reality, it be the worst things that's filling up the spots that we need filled. I pray that you change the worst things up in you. In reality, God knows and God promises that He will love you regardless. Every day somebody disappoints somebody, but every day Jesus forgives us. Control what God leads you to, because when we control ourselves, we fail. Most of all, we disappoint ourselves. Continue to reach for a higher goal, and that's God.